So I had a question asked to me about the difference between internal and external punches, which I've talked about before, and I've shown the difference between how I think you should punch and how other people should punch, which are on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out. So I'll go over a few of them things again, but then I'll show something a bit new. Well, not new, but just to explain something a bit differently. So there was a video posted up about Bruce Lee versus Mike Tyson, external versus internal, and I kind of disagree with the idea of what it was about. I think it was part of that way as a marketing thing, because obviously you put Tyson in your clip and Bruce Lee in your clip and then it gets more hits, so I can understand that. But I'm a big Mike Tyson fan, big Bruce Lee fan, so when I saw the two things done, I felt that both the techniques were done incorrectly and didn't do justice to what they're about. So the Bruce Lee one, which is supposed to be the internal one, wasn't to me internal because it wasn't the way you punch in each punch anyway. And also it was basically sort of Bruce Lee's show punch, which is just for the push punch, just for demonstration. So to me that really wasn't internal. And the Mike Tyson punch really was just a mechanical movement, which was classed as being external, but the mechanical movement was actually quite good. So that would be more internal than external. External to me is when you punch with bad body mechanics and bad use of muscle energy, bad use of breathing, bad use of energy, right? So when you do a punch, if you have the pad, the Bruce Lee one was done like a push punch, where you push through the body into the punch. But that's actually, to me, is still external. It's still bad because you don't want to punch with your shoulder. You want to punch through the body. But when you punch a good inch punch, it's not actually a push punch. An inch punch you should punch, it should be the muscles exploding. So you explode through all the muscles in the body at once. It shouldn't be you punch and push with your shoulder. That to me is external. That's bad mechanics because I'm putting a lot of weight through my rotator cuff and through my shoulder joint. The shoulder should be packed and the scapula should be down. And when you punch, it should be like a sneeze. All the muscles contract at once, right? So you should be able to put your hand on somebody and then it contracts. Just a small little inch punch. You should just retract a little bit, sink and load all the joints and punch. That should be an inch punch. So that's kind of using more of the internal aspects of the body, right? And obviously if you're breathing, sinking your energy, breathing your punch, that's what I'd call more of an internalized punch, right? And the Mike Tyson punch to me is also the same, because Mike Tyson punches with really good body mechanics and really good use of muscle energy. So when he punches, a lot of the punches he would do is where a classical Tyson punch will be when he slips a punch, he'd load his legs. He loads his legs and loads his hips and just retracts the shoulder a little bit, keeps it all packed, and then he punches from here and comes up, punches into the body. So that's all for the body, right? So here punch comes around, he'll duck the punch and come up, put a punch in. That's still punching for all the body mechanics of the body. So to me that's still kind of internalizing your punch. It's still a good punch. A bad punch would be stepping out too far, punching too much with the shoulder. So for us, this is obviously a bad punch because it's the shoulder locking in. Hand placement is not good for what we do for our Wing Chun. A good punch for us would be loading the hip, loading the body, loading the bows, using the muscles to contract. And when you punch, you want to contract on impact. So we don't want to throw a punch where we load up and throw a punch. That's a bad mechanic for us, right? For the way we do it. And that would be called external, right? So this could be quite a lot of power, like a boxing punch where you turn your hip and punch in. It can be a lot of power, okay? But I don't like it because it's putting a lot of pressure on my shoulder joint. My balance is off because I'm lifting my hips up. So for MMA, for self-defense, we want to stay more grounded and have better balance. So for me, the way Tyson punches is great. You see his legs are very strong. He's got very strong legs because he loads his weight, he loads his hip, he loads his balance, he breathes out with the punch, he controls his breath, he's explosive. To me that's a perfect punch, and to say that's not a good punch or an external punch is crazy. I mean, he sinks his weight, punches up, punches into the punch. It's a good punch. If I'm punching more like we do in Wing Chun, the mechanic is just a little bit different because we're shorter and we're punching. That's not going to be as powerful as Tyson's punch, right? That inch punch is a punch where you're going to punch someone to disrupt them, to cause them some discomfort, to drop them a bit, and then load up for bigger punches. So we're on close range in Wing Chun. We hit an inch punch to open them up, and then we'll punch bigger punches, right? We're not trying to just get close and hit people slowly or hit people close range for no reason. The reason we're close range is so they can't hit us. Okay, so it makes sense biomechanically. The more distance I have, the more power I can drive. If I tense my body too early and then punch, that's external because I'm tensing too early and I'm basically punching with the wrong type of muscle energy. I want to relax my body and punch with my whole body. Good kinetic chain. Okay, that to me is what we call internal.